often say that unless lightning strikes, I will not need an abortion. I'm at that age. But the fact is, I was alive, like Representative Lee, when abortion was illegal. And I found a friend in a bed full of blood because she had to obtain an abortion outside the healthcare system. And we don't want to go back. It's been 1 year since Roe v. Wade was obliterated by Donald Trump's Supreme Court. The Dobbs case, as my colleagues have said, have led to legislatures in state after state passing abortion bans and restrictions. And if my home state of Florida's 6-week abortion ban goes into effect, the entire South of this country will be walled off from access to legal abortion. The post-Dobbs laws are forcing women to stay pregnant when they don't want to or incur costly and burdensome travel to get the care that they need. And the Republicans of Congress have doubled down. Just go into any committee room and you'll hear it, right? They've doubled down with nonstop attacks on reproductive health care. And Democrats are here to say we are fighting back, will not back down from our fight to protect women's access, to protect reproductive freedom, and to make their own choice whether to start or to continue their family. And this Women's Health Protection Act will protect all of us with that. And I want my Republican colleagues to know that the women of this country are watching, and they will not soon forget who continues to stand in their way to control their own body, and they will not forget who's caused this crisis and who refuses to protect women and our rights. And no matter what, I'll repeat what's been said, we are going to continue to fight for access to abortion care, regardless of a person's zip code. And with that, I'm going to yield to a feminist supreme, a perfect example, really, of the feminist men. Thank you, men. I'm talking about you, the chair of our Democratic Caucus, Pete Aguilar.
Thank you, Lois. Thank you so much, Lois Frankel. Thank you, Leader Jefferies and Whip Clark. We're grateful for the leadership of the Pro-Choice Caucus, the Democratic Women's Caucus, and of course, Judy Chu, our author of this important piece of legislation, the Women's Health Protection Act. It's a privilege to be standing here in a room named after a champion of reproductive freedom, Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi. Today, House Democrats will be heading back to our communities. Some of our members will return to states that have banned abortion in the last year. Their constituents live in fear of a miscarriage that could result in their arrest. Children have to cross state lines to seek the care they need because that care had been established for the last 50 years as a basic right. But some will return home to states that have served as an oasis of reproductive freedom. People have come from all over the country to California to seek an abortion, and they've come to the area that I represent and been welcomed in California's Inland Empire, in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, and throughout the Golden State. But after what we've seen out of House Republicans over the last year, watching them go after contraception and go after abortion care and birth control, make no mistake, they intend to ban abortion nationwide. We can stop this. With the help of so-called moderate Republicans, we can pass the Women's Health Protection Act and codify this right into law. These members are going to hear about this from their constituents and from us over this break, and we hope that they return back to Washington ready to engage in bipartisan discussions. With that, I would like to turn it over to a champion of reproductive freedom, a woman who this room is named after and has made this piece of legislation a priority when she held the gavel as Speaker, Nancy Pelosi.
Let us thank Pete Aguilar for his advocacy from the standpoint of the chair of the Democratic Caucus of the House of Representatives. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your leadership Mr. Leader, thank you for making this one of the top priorities in terms of the number. To our co-chairs of the pro-choice caucus, thank you for your relentless and persistent leadership. The day this happened, that night, Diana DeGette was on the phone to say, we're bringing up Judy Chu's bill tomorrow, and we did that with all of our Democrats. Thank you. And Barbara, thank you especially for pointing out the economic disparity in all this and how it affects people so unfairly in terms of their communities, even rural communities, so unfairly. I don't know what to say about Lois Frankel, except that she gets right to the point and with great clarity, and thank you for your championing of all of this. And yes, Catherine has been the champion of vote counting on all this, and when she says we need 8, we need 8. Right, Diana? Yes, I would say about Diana, when Diana says we need a number, we need a number. So thank you all for your leadership. Let me just say this, because this is such, I'm so honored to welcome you to this room to talk about freedom. You see these T-shirts, it's about freedom. Freedom to vote, freedom to be ourselves, freedom to debate, freedom for everybody. Freedom for everybody. What I think it's important to note, though, is this, and associate myself with all of the concerns expressed already. This bill passed with 0 Republican support, 2 times in the House. Then we talk about people traveling to another state. 3 Republican votes. Is that a sign of disrespect for women? 3 Republican votes on the bill to enable women to travel to address their reproductive health needs. The one that gets me is the Right to Contraception Act. The Right to Contraception Act. 8 Republicans voted for that. So understand this. This is not just about abortion, or that would be reason enough. This is about total respect for women exercising their free will to honor their responsibilities, to meet their health needs. I don't know if any of the Republicans know what's going on in their families. I just don't know. But I do know that they're doing great harm. I wish they'd all take a political Hippocratic oath to do no harm to the health of American women and let them decide. Let them, not let. No, it's our right to decide, which is in the Constitution, the right of privacy. It was upheld by the court over 50 years ago. It's about privacy. And then it's about the precedent of the court, both of which were ignored by this court. And we have a remedy. It's called a discharge petition. Just think, 8 people over there, just with the stroke of a pen, could bring to the floor a debate about freedom in our country. What are they afraid of? Are they afraid of their constituents? They're going to have a lot more to fear in the next election. We can guarantee that to them. It played a big role in the last election. It'll even be bigger in the next election. They've been really clear about wanting a national ban on abortion. Make no mistake, people ask me all the time, why do you say that? Well, because they do. And what is their motivation? Well, they'll know about ours. And ours is, we aren't going back. We ain't going back. But I'm going back to our distinguished leader, Hakeem Jefferies. I yield back to him. Hakeem.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for your strength, your clarity, your power, your leadership. And the only thing that I will add as we close, when we get the majority back, we're going to make one adjustment to the plaque that hangs outside of this room, the Speaker Pelosi caucus room. We're going to add 4 words, greatest of all time. And so we're thankful for you, Speaker Pelosi. We're thankful for everyone. I'll simply just end with this observation. The scripture says that suffering may endure during the long night, but joy will cometh in the morning. As a result of the extreme MAGA Republican efforts and their right-wing co-conspirators on the Supreme Court. They've inflicted pain and suffering on the women of America for the last year. But we will not rest until reproductive freedom is restored throughout this country. We will not rest until the Women's Health Protection Act is the law of the land. We will not rest until it's morning time once again in the United States of America. Thank you.
Good job,
Great, thank you so much.
I gotta
What? 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 Fact check 1 2, testing 1 2. Supreme Court releasing this morning 3 decisions. They have 14 total that we were anticipating over these next few weeks before the end of their term and their summer recess.